Hello. Today I was going to talk about the philosophy of Daoist medicine, which is, of course, as you may guess, based on the philosophy of Taoism. This is the Dao De Jing. If you've never read it, it's a very short book. Uh, Translated by Jonathan Starr is the version I recommend, and there's only 81 small passages. Most of this book is filled with translations and commentary and stuff like that. And to give you an example of the nature of the philosophy is the first verse, which is very famous. It says, "A way that can be walked is not the way. A name that can be named is not the name. Tao is both named and nameless. As nameless, it is the origin of all things. As named, it is the mother of all things." So that's the opening lines, and of course, Tao means way, is what it's referring to. And it's so, this mysterious quality of Tao translates into the treatment Taoist medicine, because even though this video is trying to explain it and the philosophy it's based on, and my previous video was how it works, ultimately there's always going to be that element of mystery, something about it that we have to allow for. We can't have everything figured out. We know this in life, so this is going to apply on the microcosm for a healing modality. So Taoist medicine is really based upon a combination of this allowing for this mystery, and another tenet of Taoism, which is that Wu Wei, which can be translated as empty action, or action without thought of self, is a good way of understanding it, or trying to conceptualize it, although it's not something that's easy to be conceptualized. So in the approach to the neuroenergetic body work, I don't have, as the practitioner, a certain intent or a doing approach. It's not, let's clear all this up, or let's get you fixed. It's more of a allowing for the Tao to unfold in a person, and a harmonizing with that force. So this, if I take this Wu Wei attitude with the client, it's easier for them to fall into their own harmony with the Tao, or for whatever needed to happen to happen. So a verse in here is that the Tao does nothing, yet nothing is left undone. So it's this completeness of treatment where I don't worry about, oh, I didn't get to this, or I didn't touch every cell in the body. That everything that needed to happen happened in this moment, because life is always unfolding towards perfection, which is another aspect of Taoism, is that we're constantly moving towards perfection. So why worry? Why rush? Why get caught up with things when naturally life will unfold as it is needed? So I talked before about this concept of homeostasis. So in the spiritual philosophical terms of Tao, it's about being in harmony with Tao. And that's going to lead to the greatest healing. And now I like to explain the harmony with Tao, because it's not that you're ever not in the Tao. You can't ever not be in the Tao. And the best metaphor I found for that today is, it's like you're in an orchestra. You're always in the orchestra while it's performing. Life is just this huge, great performance of the Tao. And whether you're in harmony or not is going to depend on whether you have a good time. Whether you're playing in tune with everyone or not. You're in the Tao either way, but are you going with it? Or are you trying to do your own thing? Are you distracted? What are you doing with what you do have control over? And is that in harmony with the Tao? So this philosophy is what underlies the neuroenergetic body work. It's just harmonizing people with the nature of things. And when that happens, it's like you've gotten the knot out of a very deep, tangled web of, let's call it energetic entanglements, because ultimately this isn't energetic work. And if that knot dissolves, all the other manifestations of the problem fall away. which is what I mean when I say I work on the spiritual root of an issue. It's not unraveling the threads and being, curious so much about the how, the why, the was I fell down off a horse when I was 12, or I was yelled at really badly when I first tried to do something. That's all interesting, but you don't work with it in that manner. You just dissolve the disharmony with Tao at the center, and then the rest will spontaneously resolve itself. And another very key part of Taoism and this philosophy is the spontaneity of the Tao. This video is done spontaneously. I wasn't planning most of it. I just wanted to see what would naturally follow from the concepts I brought up, so that in trusting that the orchestra will ultimately give you a sense of completion of, all right, he talked around it enough that I kind of get a good feel or sense for the philosophy that is behind this modality. And this orchestra could go on forever, so I'm just going to stop it arbitrarily here, and you can leave comments, ask questions, or reach out to me if you ever like to talk about Taoism or you're curious more about the philosophy. Thank you for watching.